Hi, this is going to be a story video. This story might be a bit short and underwhelming, but to me this is one of the scariest experiences of my life, so I hope you enjoy it. Okay, to give some backstory of the story, I was shopping for clothes, 300, 400 pounds worth of clothes, and I was walking home. Always walk the same way home because I don't like taking different ways home because I get scared in case I get lost or stabbed or shot. But so I was taking the same way home as I always do, and I walked past, basically there's a massive roundabout, and off the roundabout is I have to sort of cross it to get home. And I crossed the roundabout, and then there was like a sort of alleyway there. Like there was a bunch of houses, and then behind the houses was like an alleyway. And I was walking past these houses, and I've never really like looked down there before. But then I heard this guy, kind of like a deep, not really deep, but it was like a raspy, like smoker's voice, say, "Hey." I thought, he's obviously not talking to me. What am I even? Like, I barely even heard him. And then I heard it again. "Hey, you, turn around." I sort of stood there and I was like, does he mean me? What? I don't recognize his voice. In my head I was like, do I recognize his voice? No, because he would have said my name. So I turned around and there's this guy, kind of short. I'm like 6'1", so he must have been about 5 foot tall. He was really short, really, not really old, but he looked like really rough. He looked like he just came out of prison. And he basically said to me, and I was like shaking because I don't know if I have social anxiety or whatever, but I hate meeting strangers, especially when they look like they're going to kill me. And I turned around and I was physically shaking. I was physically scared. I could barely see. Everything was like blurry, and I was holding like all of this money was in my pocket, and I was like, he knows that I've been like shopping, and he knows that I've got money in my wallet and stuff like that. And he said, he put his hand on my shoulder, and I was like, oh God, what's he going to do? He's going to shoot me or something. And he said, relax, calm down, I'm not going to do anything. And I was like, why are you saying that? Just, what do you want, And he said to me, so what have you been doing? And I was like, I've just been shopping, I don't know, why? And he was like, oh, can I have 20p? And I was like, what? In my head, I was like, what? 20p? 20 pence. You turned me around to ask for 20 pence. You can find that on the floor. And I was thinking in my head, sure, 20p, that's fine. That's totally fine. And then I was like, okay, why do you need 20p? And he was like, oh, I just got out of prison. Oh, okay. Yeah, that was casual. Thanks for that. And he was like, yeah, I just got out of prison. I need some cigarettes. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Let me just write down my my last words and give this to my family, please, and just tell them, I died doing what I loved, being stabbed in an alleyway. And I was like, oh, okay. And I got out my wallet. And in my head, I was like, what are you doing? Why are you getting out your wallet? This guy's obviously gonna, like, rob you. And this guy was obviously sketchy. He was, like, so sketchy, it was ridiculous. And I was, like, holding, like 400 pounds worth of clothes. I'm not a rich guy. Let's put this out there. I'm not a rich person. And I was holding, like, all of these clothes and all of this money. And I got out this, like, 20p. And he put his hands into his pocket, and I saw him do it. And I saw him like grab something, and I was like, he's going to pull out a knife or something. And I gave him this 20p, and I was still holding my wallet. I went to put it back in my pocket, and he then looked behind me, and I was like, why is he looking behind me? Am I going to get jumped or something? I turned around, and I saw there was like a bunch of people behind me. There was like 6 people there, but they were like teenagers. I think they were teenage girls, maybe like a boy or something, and like around like 15 to 20. And they were walking past me. And when I turned around, this guy was like gone. And I was like, what? What? I literally stood for about 5 minutes, just like, what just happened? What honestly just happened? It was the weirdest experience I've ever had. And I went from being scared to then, I'm going to die because this guy obviously has a knife in his pocket and he's probably going to steal my wallet, not steal me. Why would he want to steal me? To, okay, where is he gone? He literally just disappeared. This guy is probably a wizard. And, I mean, I'm glad I'm okay because he didn't do anything. But, like, why? Why? What happened? I'm still confused. And then I walked home and I didn't tell anyone because I was like, how do I explain that? Like, what? Do I just say that I'm some weird guy who looked like Steve Buscemi? If I had to describe him, I would say he looked like Steve Buscemi. It may have been Steve Buscemi. He looked just like it. Steve Buscemi, who was about 5 foot tall, came up to me and almost attacked me with a knife. That's my story. Thank you for watching this story. It's one of the only stories that I have, and I hope you enjoyed it. And I don't have that many stories, but I'm sure I could think of some that have happened. But I hope you enjoyed hearing my story. I hope it wasn't super underwhelming. But yeah, so Steve Buscemi tried to kill me. And I hope you enjoyed this. And bye-bye. Have a nice day.